So you got a woman that was married, and she reviewed some content where the women was asked, about having a man in the house or just having the check child support, and she was flabbergasted as to why the women would choose a check over a man in the household. Let's go ahead and roll that.
I just watched a video and I'm so fucking embarrassed, bro. I'm so fucking embarrassed. This guy was going around asking women, and mostly black women, asking these women, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a broke guy who's still a father and who's at home, and around for your kids, but he broke? Or would you rather have a financially stable man and pay the child support? My heart is racing, y'all. Do you know every last one of these bitches said that they would rather have the check? Every one of them bitches said they would rather have the check. I get the check. It's not a big check, but I get the check. I give anything to have my kids' daddy at home. Anything. Anything, bro. You bitches want the check? You bitches want the fucking check. I'm so embarrassed to be a black woman right now because you want the fucking check. I'd rather have my baby's daddy at home. My ex-husband, I was married. I'd rather have him at home than the check. You are sick. Sick! And he ain't broke. Let me get that straight. He ain't broke because he paid bills. I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. He ain't broke. Life happens. But baby, you a mess. You are a mess. And you need to check yourself. The Most High is not happy with that shit. You rather have a check. Unbelievable.
We live in a society today where a lot of, the women are focusing more on themselves, selfishness. When you look at a child, you think, I can't just think for myself, I'm thinking for my child, right? A child needs a father, a child needs a mother, period. That child wouldn't be here without a father and a mother. A father is very, very important to the rearing of a child. Statistically proven, the majority of men who are in prison grew up in single-parent households with no father. The majority of women in prison grew up without a father. Children who don't have a father in the household drop out of school at higher rates, have higher rates of teenage pregnancy, have higher rates of mental illness. We can go on and on and on the effects of not having a father in the household, or a father and mother co-parenting very well where he's there to a point, correct? So choosing a check is not a father. A man can pay his child support faithfully. Thank God I can say I paid my child support faithfully. I didn't have no issues with that. Thank God. But it's not the same when you have your child in the house with you versus sending a child support check. It was totally different when my son was in the house with me and my other daughter versus me paying child support faithfully. It's totally different. When, that originally happened with me in the situation with my son and my daughter, I went through a depression at one point because of that. Because you go from being in your house every day with your child to that, right? But hey, you adapt and things like that happen. It's never the same, and I'm the type of dude, I try to get custody of my son and everything, especially when he got a teenager. But the courts, that's why I say I can't stand the courts, because I think the courts should give custody to the men, especially when they become teenagers, right? So I wasn't that type of dude. It was just cool paying child support. I went to try to, I spent $16,000 trying to get custody of my son, and it just didn't happen. I got extended visitation, but I didn't get custody of my son, which is, unless the woman is abusing the child or doing drugs, something to that effect, they are not going to give you custody as a man. It's just bottom line. Don't even waste your time. And just we live in the laws are very, very, slanted for women in the area of family law. I will say that much. But it's so much better to have the man than the check. Now, she said her ex-husband, and she said it'd be better to have him in the household. I don't know what happened to their situation. Did she regret what happened with their situation, because you're talking about it's better to have them in the household. Yeah, because if you were married 9 years and your child's used to the dad around, then you go from dad being there every day to dad not being there, a check does not, come in handy. A check can help pay some clothes, shoes, help pay a bill or something. But when you're tired as a mom, you can't call upon dad in the house in the other room and say, hey, I want to take a nap. Could you make sure you just keep up with him or whatever? Or you can't take a day to yourself, and dad say, oh, yeah, go ahead, go do your thing or whatever, versus on a weekend if he's available, because sometimes he may work on the weekend. So you may have that child a whole lot more than what you did when he was there. So that's where she's coming from. But the other ones are thinking about selfishness. I'm thinking about a bag and I'm thinking about my child. That's why she's upset, because she's coming from a realistic standpoint. And that's why I tell men, please don't impregnate these women unless you are married to them. Because a lot of you not trying to get married to them. And if you do get married, it may be something special. So please don't do that. I understand marriages, things happen. But if you want to go there, 75% to 80% of the divorces are filed by women. It's not by men. So even men aren't leaving their marriages like that. They're not. So if anybody's making single parent households, you might well say in the area of marriage, it would be the women statistically. And that's it. And you look at how many women have left their husbands and then they realize, I shouldn't have did that. Oh, I made a mistake. So many women have said that behind something emotional. That's why they always say never make a decision in emotion.